Well, obviously, two tough losses on the road. Played very well in both games. I think we're moving forward. I love just the vibe in the locker room. I love what they're talking about. The energy in the program's really, really good. And that's kind of the objective in year one. And I really think we're at a good spot there. Now we're back at home. I understand all the elements that our fans deal with through not knowing who we're playing half the time, vaccine mandates, masks. I get it all. But every kid in that locker room chose to play at New Mexico, to play in front of these unbelievable fans and to play at the Pit. So, if you do come, we want you to come safely. But, let's have a great week here. See if we can go get some tough wins. So, Fresno State is terrific. I mean, they've got I believe, a first-round draft pick at the center spot in Robinson. So it's going to be very, very challenging. But we're excited about it.
Coach, when do you think your guys started really buying in like they're doing now? I mean, they just look totally different than like earlier in the year.
Yeah, I think earlier in the year you saw bad body language from certain guys that we really tried hard to address. And again, that's the most important thing right now. When you're putting together a roster and you have 9 new guys and, you want to have veteran leadership from the old team, but they've been through a lot. They're trying to figure it out. So it takes time. But I think you could tell now that there's a buy-in. And I think maybe that UNLV game certainly woke guys up a little bit. I mean, I've told them over and over again, like, nobody is holding you against your will to be here. This is a privilege to play here. And either you're in or you're out. And sometimes those are tough conversations and tough decisions, but it seems like we're headed in the right direction.
Seems like as far as heading in the right direction and you're getting the ground floor on what you're trying to establish here, right?
I'm sorry, what was the first part?
You're headed in the right direction and you feel like you're finally getting that floor established.
I think so. I mean, we're young, but when you take over a program, you want to win every game, certainly, but you can't think about the record right now. I equate it to building a house. Anyone who's ever built a house, there's always a moment where they get frustrated with the builder and they want to know why it's taken so long. We want to build it right. And the way to do that is to get guys who relish this opportunity. They grow in the program. Will I take transfers? Yeah, I will. Do I want 1 million of them? I really don't. I want to build. I think this community deserves a program where they get to know the Jamal Mashburn Jr.'s of the world and the KJ Jenkins, Jalen House, and they're here for several years. I feel like this program has flourished when it's had that.
You look at Robinson on film. This season, how has he been challenging opponents? He's certainly been getting better every year at Fresno.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of, now I'm saying this because I was in Minnesota, but he reminds me of Karl Anthony Towns a little bit. And obviously he's one of the best bigs in the NBA, so I'm not trying to put too much pressure on Orlando Robinson, but he could step out, he could post up. They go through him a lot. He can block shots. I think he's a first-round pick. I really do. So it's when you're 3 bigs down like we are, going to be a challenge. It's a challenge with a full roster. So very, very skilled. Doesn't really have a weakness.
Coach, usually when you think of the third scorer, it's either Javonte Dawson or KJ Jenkins. But what was different about Jay Allen Tamar in the last game?
I just think his attitude has changed. And I'm not trying to throw him under the bus and say he has a bad attitude, because I don't. Like, I love him off the court. But there was moments this year where it's just like, Jay, I'm not enjoying coaching you. Like, it doesn't seem like you're enjoying playing for me. And I don't think it was intentional. Like, every talk we had was really, really good. But, a couple weeks ago we spoke after the UNLV game, and I just said, as I said before, nobody's making you be here. We invested in you. And his attitude's been really, really good. And I think he's playing well because of that. And a lot of it is that good attitude provides confidence. Like, he's shooting that three with confidence, where before it may have been, I don't want to miss. Where now he's trying to knock it down. So his future is very, very bright. He's going to put on some weight in the offseason. He's got a great skill set. So, yeah, I mean, the idea of building a team is to not just have two options or one option, is to have five on the court at all times.
When it comes to three-pointers, you guys were doing the best earlier in the season, but obviously you guys do have people who can shoot them. So do you think as you keep going to the conference play, you're going to try more of those? Or?
I just want good shots. I want our guys to be out there finding other shots. I don't want them trying to create on their own. You know, we've had some really good moments this year where we've scored a lot of points, and we've had some moments where we've looked bad, and I think the moments we've looked bad is we try to do it on our own. Find other guys' shots. You know, catch and shoot threes are good shots. Dribbling through your legs 9 times and then shoot a three is not a good shot. Getting to the rim is a good shot. Getting to the foul line, which we've not done the last 2 games, is a great shot. So I don't know. I mean, just play the right way. Take what the defense gives you.
A couple weeks ago, you used the word trusting each other more. I mean, like the movement you're getting, it seems like that's allowing for that.
Yeah.
And you guys are starting your offense like with a lot of movement, a lot of touches for guys, and it seems to be kind of paying off.
We're trying. I mean, it's, you know, I think the two, culprits obviously are Jamal and Jalen of some bad shots. And I don't think it's because they're selfish. I think it's because they're trying to make things happen. And what I think they need to realize is let Javonte get you a shot, Jamal, and let Jay get a post-touch kick out to you, Jalen, right? Or you know, a drive. Like we had a couple of drives, hit the corner, hit up. We call it one more. That's where the magic happens. So we haven't really changed a whole lot offensively, a little bit to get more movement at the beginning, a little bit false motion, which has been good. But, you know, it's just keep playing together, keep finding other guys' shots has been the message.
Coach, how strong has the league looked to you as far as the play?
How strong is the league? Yeah, tough time to be rebuilding, quite frankly, because if you look at this league, you look at Wyoming. Their coach Jeff Linder, I think, does a really good job. He inherited 2 terrific players and built around them with some really good skill guys. You look at Colorado State before. This is year 4 for Nico. He's built it the right way, similar to what we're trying to do. You play Boise. Leon's been there for 12 years. It's a rock solid program. You know, and that's Utah State inherits Justin Bean. That's where it's difficult. We haven't even played San Diego State, who obviously has got a great culture. So, yeah, I mean, you're looking at potentially right now 4 teams to go to the NCAA tournament. You know, I mean, Wyoming's got a net that's in the 20s. So it's a great league, and we'll be there at some point, you know, as we get bigger and stronger and keep building. But it's good for our guys to learn from. But I've been blown away by how good the league is.
Coach, you guys have been so close to that first conference win the last few games especially. How big of a momentum swing could this be if you guys could get a win tomorrow?
I don't think like that, honestly. I mean, I'm as I said to these guys before after the Wyoming game, like, you keep doing what you're doing, you keep working, you keep playing well together. We're going to continue to build this roster to where it's more complete, get healthier, obviously, with Saquon. E-Man, obviously, will be out the rest of the year. So I don't try to focus on the wins part too much right now. We're down 2 home games because of Colorado State and San Diego State. It's a great opportunity to get back into the pit, see if we can get one. But a very, very tough team, a really good team.
You were right there with that Wyoming, the reward for the way your team played and fought there in the final minute and seconds. That call that went against you, any thoughts on that as you sit here?
Well, there's a couple things. For one, I don't like the call in general, not the call in that game. I think you don't see it a lot in the NBA, but you see it way more in college. I think that we're trying to move away from making that call. I think college is. I saw it in the Big Ten. Wisconsin would do it a lot, and they were just giving them blocks all the time. That primary defender charge, I just don't like it. So it's not that I thought it was some horrendous call that cost us the game. Where I was really frustrated, because it could go either way. It really could. And I was frustrated with, I didn't deserve a technical. I really felt that. I coached for 10 years. I haven't gotten a lot of technicals. I was really upset about that. I didn't think it was right. And I thought there was a little indecision when the call was made. If you say it's a charge, there's a lot of refs that may say it's a charge. And okay, I get it. It was just the way it all went down that really, really frustrated me. It's not why we lost the game. I don't believe that. We never try to put the game in the refs' hands. I mean, who knows? If they call it a block, who knows if we make the free throws? They were shooting 72% in the second half. They'd probably go down and score, So I wasn't happy with the technical. I don't felt I deserved that. That's where I was really, really mad.
Do you think it could have even been just a no call?
It could have been. Again, it's to me, it's not really that game. I think that call is where we have to figure out in our game, do we want it or not? Again, like I said, if a ref said that's a charge, I'd be like, all right, I kind of understand your point. If a ref said that was a flop, I could say I understand your point, or I could see a block. I could see all three of them. I didn't like the way it went down, and I didn't like what happened after. It's such a big call. I don't think what I did justified getting a technical right away. But I think all those refs are working hard, and nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect, but that was really it more than anything. But yeah, it's the rule versus liking the call, right? The rule may say it's a charge. Still, I don't know. I don't like it for any games moving forward. But Jalen House has gotten a lot of them on the other end as well. I like the secondary defender, so I'll have to change the rules. I got to win some more games before I change the rule book first.
How do you feel that having Jeff here?
I'm sorry?
How do you feel that having Jeff here in person?
Having what here?
Not having Jeff here.
How do I feel not having Jeff Grammer here? It's a better vibe. He monopolizes the room a little bit. He asks every question. He's like right in my face with the stupid phone, so it's nice. I don't know why he can't sit down like the rest of you guys, but he's got a big ego. He won a big award. Oh, you can hear me, Jeff?
What do you think about my award?
Congratulations on your award. We're happy for you.
I know you kind of talked up Karl Anthony Towns comparisons and stuff, but Graham Ike is only 6'9", Orlando's 7, maybe even 7'1". They're not the same kind of big. Those are probably the two best bigs in the league, but they're not the same kind of player at all, are they?
No, very different. Where Ike is very, very effective is he's a great free throw shooter, and he's going to get fouled. Where Robinson is more of your prototypical NBA big. It's what they're looking for. So different type of players. I think Robinson just oozes NBA when you look at him. And I hate that because we're so obsessed with can he play at the next level instead of just enjoying him for what he is. But you can certainly see that. He definitely looks taller than Ike. I haven't seen him in person. Ike's stronger, obviously, but the skill set's off the charts.
And then, as far as the fouls go, you guys, even in the broadcast the other night, they were talking about how New Mexico is one of the best at getting to the free throw line in the country, and they're looking at those numbers overall. Since conference play started, you guys are 11-team league at getting to the free throw line, or at least free throw range anyway. It's obviously changed. Can you kind of explain why it's changed to the fans that kind of don't understand why you guys were, getting so many points at the free throw line through the first 10, 12 games, and now you guys are really struggling to get there?
Well, I don't think it's one thing. This may not be fun for the fans. I don't think it's the refs, quite frankly. I just think it's we have to be more aggressive at attacking it, quite frankly. And I didn't even think, obviously I was unhappy at the end of Wyoming, but there was a big discrepancy. I didn't really think it was a poorly officiated game. Maybe one or two might have been fouls that we didn't get called, but I just think it's an attack level that we've got to be a little bit tougher at. But I think as you get in conference play, they got bigger teams. So I don't think it's one thing. I really don't. We haven't changed the way that we play. We've just got to be more aggressive going into league play here.
Okay, last one is, I'm sorry, 2 more. Saquon, did you mention if he's coming back or not?
Really day to day, it's just a comfort thing with him. So we didn't. We just watched film yesterday, and we'll have more of a practice today, see how he feels. But it's a comfort thing, and it's going to nag him, unfortunately, for a lot of the year. So really, it's up to him to decide by tomorrow if he feels up to it or not.
Okay, and then this is the last one for me. Even slower than Air Force, Fresno is playing. Their offensive possessions and their defensive possessions are among the slowest in the league. Is that something you have to prepare for? How do you prepare for a team that's playing even slower than Air Force?
I think when you look at the tempo numbers, you tend to think that the offense is playing slow. The reason why they're playing so many few possessions is their defense is so elite that it gets them, deep into the clock and there's less possessions there. So it's just like us. We play at a high tempo. Well, I don't know if we play that high of a tempo, more so than we're just not very good defensively, and that creates more possessions. So it's like San Diego State too. I think those teams are terrific defensive teams. It cuts down on the tempo. So they'll run their sets and stuff, but I think more than anything, they're so terrific defensively in their size that it's kind of hard to simulate that.